Chipley Garden Club, and I'd like to welcome everybody here, all the guests, but mostly I want to welcome Miss Jo here. And today, Chipley Garden Club honors one of its own, Josephine Brooks McGlamory. She's a native of Pine Mountain, Georgia. Miss Jo came to the Panhandle in the 40s. Throughout her life, she has always found ways to help others as a volunteer, teacher, counselor, writer, and mother. She has worn many hats over the years. In her gardening hat, Miss Jo served as 2 years as president of Chipley Garden Club. She's a master gardener and a lifetime member of Chipley Garden Club, the Florida Federation, and the National Association of Garden Clubs. She has also been a nature columnist and the nature leader of Wekiva State Park, one of the premier learning parks in the nation. In her educator's hat, she taught in Washington County School. And her former students remember the time they spent in her classroom fondly. And we have some former students here. Today, she's still making folks smile as she welcomes them to Walmart as a greeter. In her writer's hat, Miss Jo has had several books published, including her book of poetry, Red Clay Pop, and in her butterfly bonnet, Miss Jo, aka the Butterfly Lady, served 3 terms as Florida's butterfly chairman and was instrumental in claiming zebra longwing as Florida's state butterfly in 1994. Miss Jo even has her own stepping stones at the National Butterfly Garden in Washington, D.C. She has always had a passion for butterflies, which she will share with anyone willing to listen. Even as a little girl in Georgia, she could attract the gauzy creatures to ride upon her shoulders. She has traveled the world over pursuing her interest in butterflies, following the monarch migration from Canada to their winter site in Mexico, and the hunting blues in the bush of Australia. Today, in honor of her many contributions to our community, our state, and our world, Chipley Garden Club is proud to add 2 dwarf blue chip woodlow, I'm not sure how to say that, John, but to our downtown pots in her honor. Miss Jo tells us if you plant for butterflies, they will come. As these new bushes grow and bloom, we'll be watching for butterflies, and they will remind us of Chipley's own butterfly and we'd like to
at the Dempster School Board meeting, and that is under flight line 26 at O'Hare. And about every so often we go. And then we wait for the plane to take off and we start talking again. The plants, center plants there is a buddleii, and its common name is butterfly bush. And the reason we picked that particular variety is called blue chip buddleii, and it's a dwarf. It's the first and only butterfly dwarf right now. It will only get about 3 foot tall and 3 foot wide, and I suspect eventually we'll plant some vines around the edges of the clay potter, let them hang down and fill it up. But right now it's kind of small. It will only grow about 3 to 6 inches a year, so it'll be a while yet before it fills out. The flowers are a true blue. That's why it's called blue chip. Sometimes they're kind of purplish or occasionally pink. This one is a very true middle range blue, about the color of your sweater, or jacket, okay? And it is very fragrant. The butterflies love it. In fact, we planted one at the library about 3 months ago. 10 minutes after we had the butterfly bush in the ground, we had a butterfly on it. It was a fritillary butterfly that found a meal, see? So it's a good choice for down here. It's drought resistant, it's hardy, it likes the sunshine, the hotter the better. It won't get too big, and it is an ideal plant for your garden because it is small and yet it blooms. You see the flowers got frozen, but you'll see how many flowers were on that bush. It was really, and it will do that all the way from probably mid-June until Thanksgiving. It's just kind of hard to find a plant as nice as that, friendly as that.
Where can we get it?
Well, I can order them. I got this one from Mathis Tree Farm because Brenda and Bill Mathis are friends of ours and have a slow season this time of year. And he is willing to drive down to Central Florida and buy them every week, which is I'm not willing to do, but not for what they sell. Nevertheless, it's a nice plant. It's in good shape. It only needs fertilizer maybe twice a year, just to keep it blooming at top speed. It will bloom without it. I have a full-size one at the house. It's actually 20 feet tall, and I've never fertilized it. It's covered with flowers and stuff. And Candy took a picture one year and had over 100 fritillary butterflies on it at one time. So it's one of the somewhat overlooked plants. And if you're interested in butterflies, it's probably the #1 plant for trees. And I will stop talking, Karen.